from our left to right, and they're all white uniforms. Here's the kick. Kicks it about the middle of the field. Looks like 19, that's Cody Ferrante. He's going to run up the middle. He's got some room. He's got a couple of blockers, cuts to his left, breaks a couple of tackles, uses his speed. There he goes! Touchdown, Calaveras!
What a great way to start the homecoming game, to get the crowd into it immediately.
What a play. The first time he touches the ball, he takes it to the house for 6 points. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. I'm your host, Gil Valtierra, the voice of Calaveras Football. You know, periodically we have episodes that we call Where Are They Now, where we bring you a former Calaveras football player. In this episode, you were all in for a treat because we're going to give you Where Are They Now exponentially times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of the Sewell family here in the studio. The patriarch Dave Sewell, Dusty Sewell, Ty Sewell, Connor Sewell, and Mike Sewell. Let's give it up for them. Gentlemen, they love you in this county.
I hope so.
Well, let's start off with Dave. Dave, you got 4 sons that went through Calaveras High School and played varsity football at Calaveras High School. You were a coach yourself. We coached together back in the day. Tell us a little bit about, you know, your upbringing, where you went to school, where you played ball, and then how long you've been here in Calaveras County.
Well, Gil, I grew up in Stockton, and I was there until my early 20s. I attended Lincoln High School, started playing. In fact, I tried out for the very first Northwest Trojans team and got cut. Back in that time, there was only one team, and it was 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. And I was a 12-year-old, and, man, I got my ass kicked. But, you know, I thought I was a good football player from playing in the park, and realized when I started playing against the 13 and 14-year-olds I wasn't. But I played 4 years at Lincoln, went on to Delta where I played football and baseball, and then ended up getting a scholarship to UOP to play baseball.
Excellent.
And I'd had a couple knee surgeries, and my time playing football was coming to an end.
Sure. And then now from Stockton, you at some point moved to Calaveras County and brought up your family there. How long have you been in Calaveras?
I think it's close to 40 years.
Wow.
And the funny part is I never intended on staying. I really wanted to work for the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, and they weren't hiring at the time. So one of my tactical sergeants at the academy was from Calaveras County and talked me into coming up here. And I ended up meeting the boy's mother, and I had some success at the sheriff's office, and I loved the area. I still do. And here we are. Dusty, you're the eldest of all these guys. What years did you play at Calaveras?
So at Calaveras in high school, I was there, I think, 03 to 2007.
All right. And Ty?
I was there 06 to 10.
Connor?
2007 to 2011. I had to ask Ty to find out what those years were.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. 2011 to 2015.
And that was Mike Sewell there, and then the last 11 through 15. So 40 years in Calaveras, that's pretty amazing. Did all you guys play Pop Warner youth football?
Yeah.
All in Calaveras?
Yeah.
Yep.
Started 10 years old. That's 1999 and played all the way through 2003, I guess. Yeah.
And then when you think about how long you played, like each of you, if you think about like from Pop Warner to high school, and then after that, if you played college, how long did each of you actually play football?
I think mine, Dusty, it was 10 years.
10 years?
So, yeah, I'm thinking we didn't have Mighty Mites or anything like that.
Yeah, math's not a strong suit.
So 10 years old is the earliest we began. And then I played all the way until I was 22, got my degree from Midland University. So
Okay.
Yeah, about 12 years.
12 years. It's a long time to play football.
Yeah.
How about you, Ty?
I was about 8 years or so, give or take.
Yes. Connor?
That would have been 10 for me as well.
So, needless to say, a little bit of experience playing the game. Do you guys have fun?
Yes. Oh yeah, well, absolute blast. I think it's probably the best sport that you can play.
So was there ever a doubt in any of your guys' mind growing up in the same house that, I mean, Dusty, you're the oldest, so you led the way. You were playing football. You guys are probably playing still and then looking up to watching each other play. Was there ever any doubt you're like, I'm not sure if that's for me. Maybe I want to do something different. Or was it like, nope, I'm playing football just like my brothers?
Hold on, before
Ty
Connor
wanted to strictly be a kicker.
Yeah. Well, first off,
So no, he
let's
didn't want
start
to
here.
play football.
Kicking was one of them. Sure, let's start that.
So Connor wanted to be a kicker.
That was Ty.
It was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was me. I wanted to be the kicker.
He had like 2 years in Pop Warner where it was like, I just want to kick, and that's all he did.
He was the biggest kid on the team.
It was 1 year, and I kicked, but I ultimately wanted to play hockey. Like that was my big thing I wanted to do.
Okay.
I grew up watching Dad play pickup games at Oak Park down in Stockton. But
Now we talking traditional ice hockey or
Yeah.
like field
Oh, yeah.
hockey or no?
Traditional ice hockey.
Okay.
Pickup games on what was it, Wednesday nights?
Wednesday nights.
Yeah, Wednesday nights we go down there. Hang out with him, watch him play a little pickup hockey, and that was where I fell in love with that game. That's what I wanted to do at some point. But Connor is correct. I ended up wanting to kick at some point, just to, I was tired of playing the line. To be honest with you.
So with the hockey thing,
Yeah.
was it the I kind of like to go score a goal, or were you more like I like the enforcer job? Or?
I thought to me it was just fun, right? I hate the heat. I'm not a big heat guy. It being nice and cool inside there was obviously pretty fun, but
Okay.
but like I said, it's going and scoring goals. Being athletic was the cool part about it for me, at least.
All right. How about go ahead,
Ty
Connor?
is very graceful on skates. You would not expect it, but extremely graceful on skates. It's insane.
Very.
Like you look at him, you're like, no shot against Ty.
Yeah.
But you look at him and go, that guy
Yeah.
can't skate, and he is absolutely amazing.
That seems like it sounds like a compliment, but was it?
It's
Total- it's not total
It's
compliment.
100% a backhanded comment for sure. No, I learned learning how to skate from Dad in the driveway. He taught me pretty much everything. I remember at the old Baldwin house, there was a strip of cement I would skate back and forth on all day. And that was kind of where like I learned how to skate that in a little bit of the driveway, but never panned out having 4 boys trying to play football in here, not to mention the closest place to Stockton to play hockey is Stockton. But it made more sense to why I couldn't play. And, I'm just so grateful and happy that I got to play football instead.
Sure.
It was something I wanted to do, and it was a fun thing to do. I mean, it was a blast, especially being up here.
So Ty readily admits that there was something else other than football. Anybody else other than that, or it was always football with you guys?
I kind of had some doubt. I think after my very first Bantam Pop Horner game, I don't know if you remember this, Dad, but we were down at the Lodi Great Bowl playing their Pop Horner team. And towards the beginning of the game, you ran a pop pass. I was playing tight end at the time. And somehow I caught it, a little dinky 4-yard pass. And I remember running all the way down to the 2-yard line. And I got toe tapped from behind, and I fell on the ball, and it knocked the wind out of me. And I got up and I was crying, and I went over to the sidelines, and I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? This isn't fun. But then that, obviously that feeling went away, and it was fun.
Had you have not been toe tapped and you went into the end zone, that might have been a different.
Exactly could have been a difference. But no, yeah, that was the only little doubt I could think of.
Right. Other than that, you're like, no, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
That was the day that your grandfather told me there's no way Dusty could play running.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his grandfather, my dad, was a super knowledgeable about football, and I think that's where we kind of all got our love from, was him.
Excellent. And of course, for some backstory there, I probably should have mentioned Dusty played running back at Calaveras High School, prolific running back back when he played. Mike, you're running back, wide receiver, defensive back. I mean, you sold hot dogs up in the stands. You did it all for whatever was needed. Tight end. Where else did you play?
D-end.
Yeah.
D-end, outside backer.
D-end, okay.
There was a senior year where I played a handful of other spots. I played corner with Chris Usry at one point, which was a unique experience for myself. But
Yeah, I bet.
A lot of height.
a lot of height, yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
height,
yeah,
a lot of speed.
yeah. That's where I used to get on Coach Bosa.
Yeah.
He'd have like you and Chris Essery
Yeah.
in the defensive backfield. Where's our 6'1" corner? And
right.
where's he?
No, you get 5'9" and slower than hell. So
And then Connor, wide receiver
And corner.
and corner. And, all right, excellent. So let me ask you this: do any of you boys now? Do you guys have kids yourself?
yeah,
You
we
do?
all. Oh, go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, I'll start. I have a 6-year-old Jackson, and we just had our first baby girl, Evelyn. She was born on December 20th of last year, so she just turned 7 months.
Nice, congratulations!
thank you.
Congratulations, Ty.
I got two. I got a 10-year-old Olivia and 6-year-old Harper.
Excellent. So, any of them have football in their minds, or and if so, were you guys like good with that? You like
So-
let them play?
Like it was so. Like football for us, obviously for the girls, if they want to try something, they can go and try it. That's all them.
Well,
Olivia,
Harper wrestles.
Nice.
yeah. So we'll get into that one here in a second. But Olivia was doing cheerleading for a minute. She was doing cheerleading, so we were still around the football thing. And then she ultimately kind of ended up moving into more of a softball standpoint. So she's gotten a travel league in Stockton for the fall season coming up, but she fell into the softball thing. She liked to do cheerleading, but if they wanted to do football, I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. You know, I know they have the flag football league, which is a new thing around here.
Sure.
And I think, as my dad's saying, Harper would be my level football player, if anything.
Excellent.
She's the little brute.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dusty?
Yeah, so my son Jackson had asked to play this year. I helped coach the Hillmar Pop Horner team the last couple of years, and he wanted to get out there and play. But I'm going to make him, not say make him wait, but I think he'll probably try and play in the next couple of years. But not, he's 6 years old. I think
Yeah,
that's
give
a
him some time.
Yeah, give him a little bit of time.
Excellent. Love it. So, Dave, you coached at Calaveras there for a little while. Mike, I know you coached at Calaveras and another couple schools as well. Connor, you've coached. Tell us a little bit about your coaching experience, either at Calaveras or anywhere else, about what it was like to be a coach and coaching, especially coming from your playing days. And what was your experience like, Dave?
It was wonderful. And what was nice for me is there were a lot of parallels between Calaveras High School and Lincoln High School. The philosophies were very similar. So when I stepped into coaching up here, it was a pretty easy transition. Obviously, at Lincoln, we get more athletes. I think my graduating class had more kids in it than the entire high school at Calaveras. But the toughness of the kids, the discipline, I saw a lot of parallels between those two programs. And that was early on when I started coaching Pop Warner. I saw the connection between the high school and the Pop Warner programs. So for me, coaching up here was pretty seamless. And it, all the friendships like yours and Coach Anderson and friendships that I've made. And, I still have kids that come and see me, and it's just been wonderful.
Yeah, I always loved it. Probably since I stopped coaching, the biggest thing I missed is that camaraderie, being around the guys, joking around with the guys, all that stuff. The dog days of summer, going through brand new pairs of tennis shoes on that turf. Don't miss that much.
Yeah, no.
But definitely the camaraderie. Connor, how about you? What was your experience like?
So I coached at the high school. I can't remember the years. It was some point after Delta. I coached for a few years. I coached Mike for a year. I got to coach with Dad for a few years. I'm not sure how many. We ended up coaching for a while. I absolutely loved it. It was another way to stay in the game after not having the chance to continue it.
Right.
The kids were absolutely awesome. Loved working with them. There was a lot of hard work, good work ethic out there. And just seeing the small changes throughout the weeks as far as, hey, they're starting to understand this concept. They're starting to understand this. And then you see it translate from the practice field onto the game day. And it's good feeling. Great feeling.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
So I coached at Delta, Lincoln, and Calaveras the last year. It was a great experience. I loved coaching with all the guys. Like you guys all said, too, the camaraderie between coaches and the players, the relationships. Like, you forget the losses and the wins, but you always remember the kids.
Sure.
That's a
And-
good point.
Very good
and
point.
It's you have those lasting relationships, and it's actually a beautiful thing. And then those aha moments with the kids. It's always fun. You teach them something. They struggle with it for a little bit, but then one day they get it. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
They
It's
hit that switch.
It's super cool to see, and then passing on knowledge and everything. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. So tell me, and I don't care who goes first here. There's no particular order, but if you had to pick out kind of one of your most memorable football stories, regardless if it was, in youth, high school, college, and you guys played all of that stuff. If you picked out a memorable, like it always comes on my mind, when you get old, you're going to tell your grandkids, well, back in my day, young man, what football story are you going to tell them?
I guess I'll go first. I think my most memorable, I don't know if it's a story, but a moment, my very first year of Pop Warner football, was towards the end of the year. And again, Dad, you might remember this, but I think November 1st, Walter Payton passed away, remember? And
Yes.
And he had me wear his jersey to football practice. I think he was the head coach at the time. And I just remember running around the field with his jersey on and thinking it was the coolest thing. And, since that moment, I chose to wear 34 throughout high school and the college career. So that was just something that kind of always hung with me.
We're
Very nice.
big Bears fans.
Yeah.
That was a
Well,
rough
and even
day.
if you weren't, who wasn't a Walter Payton fan?
True.
Big bucks.
Ty?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, it's more of a moment than anything else, but I think we all in here know who the Aaron Judge is, and it was back when I was playing senior football.
Didn't he play baseball or
He
something?
played baseball.
Yeah, okay.
He played baseball. He played football.
Yeah,
Played football for Linden, and this was when again Chris Essery and I were lined up on corner on Aaron Judge for God knows what reason.
Was Ussery on your shoulders?
Yes, he might as well have been, but
We figured two of you
Yeah.
equaled one of him. and
that's what it was too. I was like, my only thought was I got to stop him in his tracks. So I remember we were on their like 35-yard line. Chris Essery and I split him up. Basically, I had an inside shoulder. Chris had an outside shoulder, and he comes straight between us. I punch him straight in the stomach. He and I kind of a little back and forth, an F you. And I felt terrible about it afterwards. But that would probably be my most memorable for sure.
yeah.
Punching a future Hall of Famer.
So,
I don't know
so,
anyone else has.
so now you watch the TV and you
Yeah.
go, I punched him in the gut.
100%. Every chance I get, I bring it up. Hey, Aaron
Yeah,
Judge.
this is like the 40th time I've heard this story.
Well, I think too, isn't there a
41
clip?
by the end of the day.
Isn't there a clip they play on SportsCenter of Aaron Judge back in high school, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, there I am.
Yeah,
You can barely see your little-
I get to live vicariously through Aaron Judge on all of his clips when he plays against
Were,
Calaveras.
were you on the ground grabbing at his shoelaces while he was up
No,
grabbing something in the end zone? Or?
Might as well have been.
Probably grabbing at something else.
You're funny.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, so growing up, we used to play football all the time, whether it was knee football or
Move that coffee table out of the way.
Yeah,
We're going to do it
We'd
right
clear
here.
the couches out, put the pillows down, and they would all be on their feet or their knees, and I would be on my feet, and they just go to town on me. But it was always so much fun, just being there with them and doing it. That's actually what made me fall in love with the game is all the competitiveness we have in our family, battling with them and always wanting to compete with them. And so I think that's where it all started. We'd go out to the front yard. I would cry because I lost, and these guys would always beat me, but it made me better in the long run because
Sure.
I wanted to be better and better and better. So
So the youngest of the crowd, you're like, man, I got to do better.
yeah, exactly. That's where I got this chip on my shoulder from. It. I just wanted to be better than them.
No, and I think it definitely helped you.
Yeah,
You
you
got
can
your
attribute all
tail
his
kicked
success
and-
to his older brothers
Yeah.
picking on him from years upon years.
Well, we used to put him out there. Ty would long snap. I think Connor would punt, and I'd run out as a gunner, and then Mike would be down there, and we'd punt the ball to him, and we'd all go right after him like a punt return. And he'd wear his little Michael Vick jersey out there, and
Well, the worst one, and it's not even really football related, is I get a call, or Erica did, I can't remember, but Mike's hurt. They're down at the vets field. Well, they made him the all-time pitcher. And
Yeah, for the home run derby.
yeah, and Ty banged a rod right off of his head.
Oh, no.
So Ty's sitting there and goes, "Hey, Mike, put it outside just where I like it," and just lines it right at Mike's head, falls to the ground. I'm pretty sure he blacks out, and immediately just starts running around the whole yard, just no idea what's going on.
And Eric and I spent that entire evening. We probably didn't get out of there till 3 or 4 in the morning at UC Davis Medical Center.
Oh, geez.
So, but there was, and it's funny now that we're, they're getting older and I'm getting older. Some of the stories that are coming out now because I thought they were little angels.
To be fair, Gil, you should have seen this shot. It was quite a rod.
At least a double.
Yeah. If he wasn't standing there, I would have been a stand-up double for sure.
Oh, my gosh. Dave, I thought you were going to bring up the story, something that comes to my mind when Mike got hurt actually at the high school during practice, I think it was, during football.
Oh, no.
At a practice, and he couldn't move. I mean, I think it was like an ankle injury or some sort of
my ankle
foot, something.
It's still weird now.
Yeah, so he couldn't move. He was kind of laid out there. And so we opened up the fence so you could drive out onto the track and get him into your car so we can, get him into the car and you can get him over to the hospital. And then I believe someone started yelling at you for being out on the track, right?
Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
I think it was the sheriff. Another sheriff.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
I think it was another sheriff. And he didn't know it was you that was in the car.
Yes, I remember who
and
it was.
He starts just turning red. Veins are popping out his neck.
Track.
Yeah, and he's like yelling, "You can't drive out here!" And he's screaming and yelling. We're like, "Shut up, man!" He doesn't even realize what's going on. And Dave rolls down his window and he gets one look at who it was, and he goes, "Oh shit."
I forgot about that.
He quickly just was like, "Oh, go back to where you're supposed to be." Oh man. So hey, let's pivot a little bit. Thanks for the football stories, but I want to talk a little segment I'll call "It's the Law." Right? I think back to the old Donnie Baker. I don't know if you guys remember him. Where he'd be like, "State law," from the Bob and Tom show. But anyways, he was he was a funny guy. Dave, you were in law enforcement for a very long time, retired from the Calaveras Sheriff's Department. And 2 of these 4 guys in the room are in law enforcement. Was that something that you wanted your sons to follow in your footsteps, or is that something they just kind of did on their own? Tell us a little bit about that.
No, that was not my choice. I'd rather have them be a doctor or a lawyer. Nah, not a lawyer. No, we'd never discussed it. And I didn't push them away from it because it's not an easy life.
Sure.
I loved it. Don't regret a minute of it. But I don't know. I would have never recommended it for them. And they've both been successful in the sheriff's office and the county, taking good care of them.
Sure. Ty, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? You're an officer. What prompted you? Was it your dad? Was it on your own?
It was dad, mainly dad. I remember growing up and him going out into whatever training he was doing. I remember it was like a 2-month-long bomb squad or EOD training out in Alabama or something like that. We're gone for a couple months. Come back home and he was just kind of in and out. But I remember he's doing cool things. He's doing something cool. I see once in a while there was another bomb call out in Paloma or Milton Road, going out there, dropping off a case of water. Again, see him in that big bomb squad suit. I was like, he's doing some cool shit.
Yeah.
And ever since I was a kid, since we could joke about it, we found a journal from my 3rd grade, 2nd grade year. In there it said I wanted to be a cop. And
it also said, "What is blue?"
Yeah. Asking you
So that's what he was dealing with.
Listen, asking the tough questions, getting answers. But no, it was I wanted to do this ever since I was a kid, and Dad was a huge driving factor for that. But just knowing that he's going out there doing cool things and kind of just hanging out, and come home Dad, what'd you do today? Took bad guys to jail. Dad, what would you do? So on and so forth. But it was mainly him that kind of drove me to want to be a deputy up here.
Nice. Connor?
I had thought about it a little bit as a child. We always, find cool sticks on the ground, and we'd play Army and military and do all that sort of cool stuff as kids. So kind of leaned towards that. Ended up getting in towards high school and college. Maybe not sure what I wanted to do with my life. And then one day it just kind of clicked. Hey, you had this idea before. Let's give that a shot. So ended up going through the academy and doing all that, and here I am.
There you go. Was there ever a backup plan? maybe I'll do this instead, and if not, this? Was there a plan B, or was it nope, I'm going to be in law enforcement, that's what I'm doing?
There was no plan B. It was more like if you don't make it, then you're going to figure it out.
Right.
But there was no like, well, if I don't make a cop, I'm going to be, a woodworker. I did a lot of manual labor type stuff.
When have you done manual labor?
I worked in the road department for 2.5 years.
Yeah, leaning on a
I worked. Okay, sorry.
stop
I
sign.
made shelves with old Donald Durham cabinets. Sorry, my hands are a little dirty. Even though I use a hammer.
Soft hands.
Okay, whatever. Anyways,
He moisturizes.
But no, like, it wasn't going to be like, oh, if I'm not a cop, I want to do X, Y, or Z.
Gotcha.
It was more of a just kind of shoot and figure it out and see what happens after that.
How about you, Connor?
Yeah, kind of the same. I didn't even have a plan A. So I was just trying to figure out and get through life, and kind of clicked that one day and went through with it.
Gotcha. So do you guys think that, that are in law enforcement, is there any similarities that crossed over from all your football days, from football to law enforcement?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a huge teamwork aspect to it. Just being able to work with others is absolutely huge. If you can't, it does not go as well for you. I think the big part is teamwork, and then just there's some long days out there where you're pulling 15, 16-hour shifts, so it's being able to basically get your head down and get to work.
Have some grit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How about you, Ty?
Well, whether it's Coach Anderson or someone else in the streets yelling at you, calling you an idiot for whatever reason, it's you learn a lot of thick skin type mentality, and just being able to handle a variety of different situations. Right? You're bumped and bruised up. You're gonna have to go through it, and there's no call a timeout. You're gonna have to keep playing. Like I said, just kind of being that punching bag for the community every once in a while, who doesn't necessarily appreciate your presence around. But you do end up making a lot of good friendships, a lot of good relationships with people you work with, and you do have to trust them, right? You do have to trust that they are going to have your back while you have theirs.
That's a good point.
And, like I said, like the whole blind side, backside guard, like that's, you're that guy.
Right.
So you got to make sure you are, in fact, kind of watching everybody else while you maintain your own self-preservation.
I like it. How about you, Dave?
I probably learned more from football and then team sports in general than I did in school. My leadership style today and what I used throughout my career is very similar to how I coach. And it's too often, I think, these days, and I think it's worse now than it used to be. We've gotten in the habit of making sure kids always feel good and that they get patted on the hiney and told that they're okay. I think it's important that we hold people accountable. And I would tell even people that I've supervised at work and in football, I care about you, and I'm going to be hard on you, and I'm going to expect great things out of you. And I had a coach Dick Leland, who recently passed away. I learned a lot from him. And at first I didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
But he pushed me to be the very best I could be. And I think as coaches and as fathers, so I kind of raise these guys the same way, that there's times you got to be tough on them.
Mm-hmm.
And expect, great things out of them. I still care about you. I still love you. But I'm not doing you any favors if I tell you everything's okay when it's not.
Right.
So the lessons learned, especially in football, more so than baseball, really translate into my leadership style and even into my life.
I absolutely love that. And I think that's a great point and an important lesson, especially today, that I think more and more people need to know. And that's why I loved coaching for so long, was because it gave me the opportunity to teach that exact lesson. And sometimes it was being taught at home, and a lot of times it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's why they needed to be out there. So I couldn't agree more. I think that's powerful.
Never yell just to yell. If I yelled at somebody or got on them, there was a reason.
Sure.
And it's one of those things where I didn't treat everybody the same. I didn't at work. I didn't when I was coaching. But I treated everybody fairly.
You bet.
Because, I think a good coach finds in a kid what are they going to react to? Do they need a kick in the ass? Do they need to be, you take it a little bit easier on them? They need more encouragement.
Right.
And I think good coaches figure out how to motivate people. So sometimes if you hear, I wasn't treated, you don't treat everybody the same. No, I don't.
Right.
I just treat everybody fairly.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't agree more.
That's one thing I've learned a lot from Coach Anderson, at least. He was one dude who always, he loved every single one of us, but he wasn't afraid to call you an idiot.
Right.
Right? He'd call you whatever he needed to call you just to get through to you. Being a tight end, being out there at the O-line, working with them, he was someone who I looked up to immensely. And his coaching style I can attribute to some of my success based on he made me have thick skin, right? He called me those names. He made me kind of toughen up, and kind of test this as well. We're now FTOs, we're training officers, and we have to do that same thing with who we train. And sitting there going, hey, what's your learning style, right? I tell the same story every single time. I got called an idiot 14 times a day. It helped me out. I knew he didn't hate me. He wanted to get through to me. He was trying to prove a point that what I'm doing is wrong and I need to correct it. But being able to sit there and kind of, like Dad's saying, have that good coaching mentality and kind of figuring out that style is a huge, huge help in both on and off the field.
That's
and
great.
again, you guys as training officers, those lessons are life and death.
100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah. What I learned from Coach Anderson is don't have your mom bring you a Subway sandwich right in the middle of football practice. Don't do that. So, okay, tell me, guys, on the last question around the law stuff, but we talked about a football memory and a football moment that's kind of memorable. Give me a law enforcement story or law enforcement memory that you go, oh, you got to hear this.
I wouldn't say it's a necessarily like wild story or anything like that, but 2 years ago, I started to be the school resource officer. And I had a moment up at West Point Elementary where I walk into the school. It's my first day up there talking with the kids. And I have this, I think she was in 3rd grade, walk up to me and go, hey, I don't like you. You guys kicked my door in last month. So sitting there, I'm kind of like, I don't know how to answer that question or that statement. And how do I handle that? So I end up going back up to the school probably 3 times a week for a month. And by the end of that period, I had that girl like giving me hugs, wanting to talk to me, like all this. It was just really cool to see that you can change somebody's perspective just by being there and having those positive interactions. And I thought that was, probably the coolest memory that I have with it.
That's amazing because you turned the outlook of someone that said, those were the bad guys to, hey, maybe they're not so bad. That's awesome. How about you, Dave?
The Jessup homicide, it occurred some years ago. David Jessup was a 18, 19-year-old kid who was getting ready to leave for Colorado to go to college. 2 guys, and one of his roommates had been selling, I think it was weed, but I don't recall. 2 guys broke in and shot David while he slept. I spent a lot of time with the family, and it was rough. She showed me photos of him. And this was probably more than 4 or 5 hours after he had been murdered. And she showed me photos of him playing sports, and it kind of went back to, I saw my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my unit was super motivated in that case, and it started off as kind of a whodunit, and we were, working around the clock, and we eventually caught the 2 suspects, and 2 of them were ex-Calaveras high school football players.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think that's the only thing, and we had kids that got in trouble, and that's what young men do. They get in, but not that kind of trouble.
Sure.
And I think one of them's out of prison now and the other one's still in. But it's a case that, there was a young man that went to sleep that night, getting ready to leave to Colorado, start his new life, and senselessly 2 very, very selfish people ended that. And, his mother and siblings have to live with that today. And
Yeah.
I think about them often.
That's too bad. Yeah. like you said earlier, not necessarily wanting that life for your sons because it's a tough life to have to deal with those types of scenarios. Yeah.
No, and I think in law enforcement, we end up seeing things that people shouldn't have to see.
Sure.
And I was lucky. I almost feel like I was meant to go into law enforcement because I could compartmentalize that stuff. So, there's things I still think about, but I don't dwell on it. And I think the other end of it is you have a job to do.
Yeah.
And I think all three of us have had to do unpleasant things, but it's what we were paid to do. And, you be professional and get the job done.
You bet. Ty?
Well, there's a handful, but the one that kind of resonates with me the most. This was probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, give or take, about 5. Connor had just gotten on, and he was working a graveyard shift, and gets a call up in the Murphys area, and I get a text on my phone saying, "Hey, it's a SWAT call out." I'm on a SWAT team at the time. Connor wasn't, but I get up there, start heading up, and I get some information that was someone pulled a shotgun on Connor, and so I get scared. I'm like, "Oh shit! Like, what's going on? What's happening? What's so on and so forth." Ultimately, I kind of get there, and everything's fine. He's okay. He's on a perimeter unit, just kind of hanging out. Have a little laugh afterwards because there's OC gas in the garage and have a gas mask. But it's one of those things where that was when it was kind of real.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with me. There is a real danger involved. And it kind of comes down to, I have my job to do. He has his job to do. And I can't sit here and worry about him. He's an adult. He can do his own things. I know his athletic ability helps him a bunch in this kind of it helps him a bunch in these situations. And, he ultimately will be fine if he keeps his head down. So, but that was more of a scarier moment for me. Just kind of going, it's real for him.
This is real.
It's real now, yeah.
It's funny you brought that up. I was Googling, Connor had gotten in a shooting not long ago, and I was looking for some information on it. And Googling it popped up some California case law. And it was the case that Ty was describing. So I read through it and it had all the details, and it scared the hell out of me. And as their dad, I try not to. I mean, I don't have a scanner. And we don't even really talk much about business. No. So I try not to know more than I need to know, and that was more information than I wanted.
Right.
And it's there's times like if my phone rang late at night, scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Know what Erica went through, and but I get updates from sheriff's office employees or administrators now that I used to work with, and they're doing well. And
right.
I'm super, super proud of them.
And probably every reason to be, absolutely. But I can see what you're saying, Ty.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that initial heart rate, all of a sudden, that nervous system kid, like you just saw a mountain lion, all of a sudden it's like boom.
Well, that's not it too. Like I said, on that particular call, it was probably 40 degrees, like a little bit of drizzle. So I'm staying on a perimeter for 6, 7, 8 hours. And so that adrenaline comes through the roof, and then it just dies down as you're standing on a perimeter with your buddy and just kind of going, well, what's going to happen next?
Right.
Ultimately, I ended up getting shot at that night. But I was more afraid for Connor just because he was the initial one. I had my group of people behind me ready to kind of handle business. He was the first one there. So to me, it's like I said, it is that adrenaline dump that kind of gets you.
Yeah, you bet. Well, thanks for sharing those stories, guys. Really appreciate it. I know a lot of those are personal and close to your heart, and really appreciate you guys sharing those. Let's pivot a little bit. And let's talk about, what life is like today. And I know we've been talking about law enforcement here for a few minutes. We left Mike and Dusty out, so we're going to start with you guys. I know besides, listening to every episode of Let's Talk Football, Coach Val, tell me about what's going on with you guys as far as, job, family, hobbies, those types of things. What's going on with your life? Dusty, you go and start. It looks like we're having a little bit of a mic and
A little bit of a mic issue.
Mic issue.
Mike's having a mic problem.
Mike's having a mic problem.
I think we're good there.
Don't worry, those don't cost very much.
That's what I'm freaked out.
Dusty, tell us what's going on. Tell us about your life, your job, your family, your hobbies.
Yeah, so today I'm down in the Central Valley. I don't know how many people know where Denair's at, but it's right next to Turlock, a little small farming community. My wife and I, we met down in San Luis Obispo about 10 years ago. It's where I moved after I was playing football at Delta.
Okay.
And so we met and got married and moved back. Her family's from down there. Her dad's a developer, so he got me into real estate. So I'm a realtor down there. Have been for about 4 years. So we've been down there, and my free time I like to play golf as much as I can with these guys, or
Nice.
take my son fishing, and I'm looking to get back into coaching football when my son starts playing, hopefully in the next couple of years. So
And how old's your son now? You said
6. Yeah, they can play as young as 6 down there. So
Right.
I just want to wait a little bit for
Sure.
them to mature. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Congratulations.
Oh yeah,
to
thank you.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thank you.
Mike?
Yeah, so right
Oh,
now,
got your mic working.
yeah, give me an A. Yeah, so I live in Ione right now, currently substituting around the areas, Calaveras, Amador, and then Stockton as well. My wife and I just had our first son.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He's about to be a year old, so I guess not just had him, but yeah, he's been a lot of fun. It's crazy how much you can love something. I'm just figuring that out.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that, and everything's going good, and just the day to day. I like to play golf with these guys, and it's been a good time.
Excellent. So it's funny you mentioned that about the love part of that. Then I'm so glad you brought that up. It's funny because my wife and I were talking about it last night. Our 2 daughters that are from me and my wife. I have a daughter from a previous relationship. She has children, but my 2 daughters now from my current relationship don't have any kids. And the one thing we brought up is wait until they have their own children, and that's when they're going to figure out the kind of love where you love something even more than yourself.
It's absolutely incredible. Like the first day I saw him and like held him and just sat there with him, it was life altering. It changed my whole perspective on everything. It gave me a clear sense of whatever. It was just insane. And I remember Connor telling me, I think he was the first person I told, and he's like, just wait. It's the craziest feeling. You'll never love anything more and anything that stands in his way. So I give our mom and dad a lot of credit because handling all of us, and when we knew we were wrong,
Which I'm sure was not a simple
it
task.
was not.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So,
It's the definition of shit show.
Okay, well, congratulations to
Thank
you.
you
And
very
I'm
much.
looking forward to seeing that little guy run around. And
yeah, he's just starting to walk, so that's been already super fun and challenging at the same time.
excellent. Ty?
Make sure it doesn't break. So I married my wife, Lindsay, for about just under 10 years now. And we have our oldest daughter. She'll be about 10. My youngest daughter, she'll be 6 coming up here pretty quickly. It's for me, like Mike's saying, loving your child unconditionally. Like I love right now I get to live through my kids vicariously through sports.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the more proud moments for me. I just took my youngest, my dad was saying earlier, right? The youngest one, she wrestled for a season. She did super well. Her first match, she ended up pinning a boy. She was all excited. She's my little brute, right? Right now, she's playing hockey down in Stockton.
Love
So
it.
yeah, so I get to go out there, live vicariously through her, and kind of get to do what she's doing and get all excited for her, buy her all the equipment. My wife's pissed. Hey, she needs a new stick. She needs a new helmet. No, she doesn't. You don't know. But there's that. And my oldest one, she likes to, she's playing softball, living through her, and just watching her kind of grow up and play. And that's besides football. It's the other love is baseball for me.
Sure.
It's one thing I do enjoy doing, and every chance I took to play catch with someone, I would take it. But it's the kids are, like I said, the kids are the big one. The kids are the ones that you get to live through for a very long time, and get to see them succeed is the coolest part for me.
Absolutely. So when you're not keeping the streets of Calaveras County safe and not taking care of the family, what are you
Yeah.
doing for hobbies?
Oh gosh, watching my kids.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, like these guys golf a bunch. I would love to golf a lot more. It's just I have a hard time getting out there, especially on weekends. Every Saturday. Right now, it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I'm down in Stockton,
Mm-hmm.
so trying to find any sort of time during the weekend off is miserable and hard to do. But we'd love to golf, love kind of hang out, but mainly just hanging out with the kids, taking them out back, throwing a couple balls or
Yeah.
shoot a couple pucks.
Well, it's awesome. They only stay young for so long and can't get that time back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my big thing.
Great job. Connor.
So I've been married to my wife, Cher. We're 7
Not
years.
the singer.
Not the singer, spelled differently, short for Sheridan. Married for 7 years. We're actually coming up on our 8th anniversary in 4 days.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we'll be heading up to Tahoe soon for that.
Nice.
I've got 2 boys. Oldest being Eric, he's 4.5. Really into dinosaurs, so yeah, I've got a lot of that.
Nice.
And I have the 1.5-year-old Rory, who's just a little ball of roundness. He's a lot of energy.
Doughy.
Yeah, very, very, very large boy. Yeah, so we've got them. Obviously, neither of them are old enough to get into any sort of sports. I tried getting Eric into the backyard. We'll kick a soccer ball around, play football. We actually yesterday were throwing it around, and he's kind of got that kind of same attitude Mike had as a child, where it was I lost, I'm gonna cry. So we've been doing, anytime I tackle him and he doesn't score, I mean, he loses his absolute mind over it. So that's a little challenging trying to get him to learn how to kind of be okay with loss. So we've been doing that. And then in my free time, it's golf, addicted to it. Mike and I go out almost every week. We go out with Dave and play. And I spent too much money and time on it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, say that to Cher. No, she's been absolutely awesome with it. It's not easy watching those two little monsters at the house. So she goes at least once a week. She lets me go out and golf with them, and she's at home with them for 4 or 5 hours at a time, stuck with them. And I'm very thankful for that, because I get them for about an hour by myself and I lose my mind.
Dave, so I hear all these guys tell us, about their kids and their wives and their stories. And now Grandpa, would you say, are you easier on the grandkids than you were on these guys when they were small?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys agree with that?
100%.
Yeah, it's so much.
No, now is my time to spoil them.
Right.
All the stuff I wanted to do for them, and I was good with them. But
Yeah, but who's your favorite grandkid?
That's
There's two correct answers.
Yeah. I don't think you know. What kind of question is that?
I love all of them.
Well, if you had to rank us.
Yeah.
If you had to rank us.
Power
what would it be?
rankings.
Power
Rankings.
Preseason power rankings.
I think the right answer is the one that's in front of him at that moment.
100%.
On you guys' sons?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have to give me some criteria.
I mean, just overall, who we most
We'll just
proud
go
of,
based
who we
off
love
of
the most.
athleticism and golfing ability.
That's not even fair.
It's going to be between Mike and I.
That's stupid.
Well, none of you are as good as I am, so it's hard to rank you.
The last few rounds, I've been kind of handing it to you.
Handed what to him?
Don't worry about it.
All right. So let's pivot here. I'm gonna save Dave here and pivot so he doesn't have to rank his grandchildren. There's no competition going on between the Sewell boys, by the way, right?
Life's a competition.
So I'm looking at the years that you guys all gave me that you guys played at Calaveras, and we're going back, folks, from 2003 to 2015. And what is that, like 14 years or something like that? There was a 14-year period at Calaveras High School where the name Sewell was being read off a roster or being read off the PA system or something going on in there. So that's an incredible time span for any one family to have at a high school. So, congratulations for that. So with that, I have this next segment I call I Gotta Know, right? The folks got to know. Who was the fastest player out of any of you?
I would like to say myself, but I think Mike
Yeah.
has that title.
Yeah, Mike takes that cake pretty
I don't
easily.
know. I think if you're going straight line speed, I think I had Mike. Mike was much shiftier than I was.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I got Mike all day.
Connor in the future, you got me?
I got you all day. I'm backing you up right now.
Even
Yeah.
you can't argue with the guy who's voting for
I thought
you.
you were saying you.
No, man.
No, Connor in track meets, he did a few. And he was
Track my junior year for a little bit. And
3 times. He was fast.
He was
like
fast. Yeah.
track speed, fast.
I think
and long legs too.
Yeah,
man. So I don't-
Connor when he ran the go route, I was like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, some would say
Yeah.
dancer's legs just because long and fast.
I don't know. It's up there.
I still got Mike. Sorry, Connor.
Mike, even
Yeah.
Dusty was a running back. He was pretty fast, and he even still gave props to Mike.
Dusty's like a Peterbilt.
So
Straight line speed, it's pretty close.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking about like in your prime, right? We're not talking about like
For sure.
today.
Yeah, and in my prime, I think I had Mike's straight line speed. But as far as shiftiness, Mike absolutely killed me in it.
So me and my senior year of college versus you at your sophomore year of
At Delta.
At
Yes,
Delta.
I think I'd take you.
I don't. I
And
disagree
if we
how
can't, and if we
full-heartedly.
can't agree on that, we can go out back and do it.
Yeah. You still do sprints with all the guys at the sheriff's department, trying to get money that way.
That's true.
Okay, so maybe I'll have the tiebreaker here.
All right.
Who was better in school? who hit the books? Who was the one who was best at school?
Connor.
Oh, well, let's rephrase this. I don't think it was who's better at school, who's the smartest. I don't think any of us really did school.
Okay.
I mean, like, I think Connor was pretty smart.
Yeah, I graduated high school. I did school.
Yeah.
Like I did it.
I mean, like,
I
you
was
were
there.
like, you didn't come
think we
home
all
and
went
like,
through
you
it.
didn't come home and like study or like.
Well, no, I could just kind of go to class. I didn't have to study. I'd sit there and I'd kind of absorb what I had, and I'd
Connor.
still get B's on
Connor,
tests.
you say
I
Connor.
think Connor.
Du-
Yeah,
Dust-
I
Naturally
say Connor.
smart.
Yeah,
Connor?
Connor's naturally
Connor,
smarter,
yeah.
I think. Than
okay.
All of us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not going to disagree with it.
Okay.
That's not something.
Of course
you
you're
fight.
not.
Connor knows
That's
it.
not something you fight. You
That
just be
wouldn't
like,
be-
Yeah, I'll take it.
That wouldn't be very smart, would it?
No. You take the handout and go. I'm good.
Okay, so fastest, smartest. Who's the funniest?
Oh, buddy.
It's going to go to me as well.
That's a lie.
No, that I
You could
disagree.
definitely
that's
tell I'm not
disagree.
full of myself.
Tyler for
Yeah,
sure.
Ty,
What?
Ty 100%.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I got you beat.
I make dozens of on-par jokes every day.
Well, okay, so now now you're getting to okay, you could tell a joke, but I'm just overall
No,
like
I just-
funniest guy.
Naturally, oh yeah. I mean, I've got the physical comedy. I've got anything.
You
You
got
ask
nothing.
for it and it's there.
No, you okay.
Well, a guy that says he's the funniest guy normally isn't the funniest
That's
guy.
a good point. That's a good point. I got
You got nothing. Got nothing.
I got a funny story about Ty that I'll bring up.
Oh, I love this story.
And he
I
knows.
love this story.
He knows.
I know this one.
Okay, so back in the day when Ty was playing, and it's summer, and I was coaching, and we're in the weight room in summertime, and Ty comes into the weight room, and he starts talking to the guys, social. Hey, what's happening? How you doing? Shaking hands, doing all that stuff. And after a while, you know, I'm running the weight room. I start to realize, you know, Tyler hasn't lifted a single weight yet,
That shit.
right?
Nope.
So then right when I realized that, I went down to the stopwatch and I hit start. And I started checking the stopwatch. So then as this is happening, I'm going around to every coach that's in the room and go, hey, I'm keeping track of Tyler. Let's see when he finally actually gets his first set in, right? And so then after a while, at first we're like, oh, anytime now. Nope, he's going outside. He gets a drink of water. He comes back inside.
Hey, you gotta
He's
stay
talking-
hydrated, Gil.
He's talking to more of his teammates, you know, talking about what they did last night, what they saw on TV, you know, just the most biggest social butterfly you ever seen, making guys laugh, being funny, right? So then I start to realize more and more times going by, he's yet to lift a single weight. So now I start getting every player in there. I go, hey, Ty hasn't lifted shit yet. Let's all just be quiet and watch him. And the moment he finishes his first set, we're all just going to stop what we're doing and give him a big round of applause. So now I've got the whole room in on it except for Ty, right? So now Ty's still going around, socializing, doing his thing. Goes back outside, gets another drink of water. It's summertime, right? So all that telling jokes and socializing is tiring, right? So then he gets back in there. He gets back into the weight room, right? Goes to the bench. He sets up the bar, lays on the bench, grabs a hold of the bar, and we're all like, oh shit, it's about to happen. Here it goes. And at the last second, he gets back up and sees somebody outside. He goes, oh, hey! And he runs outside and goes to talk to somebody else again, right? We're like, oh my gosh. Finally, he comes back in. 17 minutes later, when I hit the stopwatch, 17 minutes later, he gets his set, he does it, puts the weights back onto the bar. The whole room stops and starts clapping. And he gets up and he's like, what in the hell is going on? Why is everybody clapping?
Hey, Gil, let's go ahead and talk about regrets and what we could have done better in high
And
school.
that was the last time he ever lifted a weight.
That's a big foul lie. Yeah, that genuinely had me shocked for a second. What the fuck's everyone doing?
Why?
What's everyone doing?
Why
Why
is
clapping?
everybody
And then
clapping?
then he pointed out, I'm like, okay, all right, Mr. Jokester.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I get it.
So at that rate, we would have been there all summer for him to get his workout finished. But
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, not to mention, I took the spot up away from someone else, so being selfish.
it was funny though.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I loved it.
You were the big social
Yeah.
butterfly. Everybody
It was.
loved it.
Yeah, no, it's when you're a social guy, man, you gotta let everybody know. You know,
Absolutely.
Make your rounds.
Absolutely.
Peacock's got to fly.
Peacock's gotta fly.
Peacock's got to fly.
Okay, so we got the fastest, the smartest, the funniest. Who's the biggest pain in the ass?
Ooh,
I'll take that one.
Yeah, I would give that to
Yeah, I'll
Connor.
take
yeah, I
that
was
one.
just thinking on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I pushed everyone's buttons as a kid, and I still tend to do it. It's a hard habit. I try fighting, but when I'm around them, it's sometimes too easy to get them riled up, and I'll do it. Especially like with Mike.
I tell everyone Connor should have been a lawyer. He generally should have been a lawyer.
Yeah, I'll argue anything.
Anything?
Yeah, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll take an opposite of somebody just to argue because I enjoy.
It's kind of a
doing
blue
it.
sky day. Well, not quite.
You know,
There's
actually,
a
take
tinge
a
of
look at
yellow
it.
up there.
Yeah, it happens on a daily basis. So we'll have morning briefings, and I'll go in there and kind of hang out. And here's Connor argue about something he has no idea about, but he's making decent points because he sounds articulate.
Yeah, it's all about confidence when you're trying to argue something like that. You say something that could be false, but you got the confidence behind it. People go, yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? That sounds about right.
Sounds
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Confidence also was the first part of con artist. You know that.
And Connor as well. So I mean, it all kind of rolls together at that point. Do we want to take that back to the funniest thing and go back to that real quick and take a vote again?
Biggest pain in the ass for sure.
Yeah, I definitely will take pain in the ass for sure.
Dave, you got any any of the names that popped up? Are you saying like, wait a minute, like, or like it all pretty much it fits?
No, it's pretty accurate. They all know each other pretty well.
Yeah, I would say so.
They're all knuckleheads. Still.
Did any of you ever wish for a sister?
Wish Connor was a sister.
I don't think so. I never really wanted a sister.
No?
I know our mom did, but I don't think any of us were.
Yeah, see, Ty wished
So,
for it.
so
Now
you
he
were
has two
cool
girls.
with just
Oh,
having
yeah,
brothers.
yeah, absolutely.
Mike,
Yeah, no, I think
you were
that
fine.
were- yeah, I was at the
Yeah.
bottom, and
You're like, no sister is going to be able to beat me
Yeah,
in football.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
how's that going to help me?
I didn't even really think about
Yeah,
it.
it was never even a thought. I didn't even think like that was a thing. Just like, okay, I got four brothers, or three brothers. That's just kind of the way we go.
Right.
I think they used to dress Mike up in Erica's clothing. That was our little sister.
Oh, Michelle.
Dave, did you ever think like let's keep trying to have one, or you were fine after the four boys and?
I actually did, and then after I saw the grocery bills,
Ugh.
4 was plenty. But I would have loved to have had a daughter.
Gotcha.
And the amount of windows broken.
But yeah, I'm just that's-
windows.
I think it was Dusty swinging the yo-yo around
front
in the
yard.
living room. Oh, he was in the front yard, and I'm just sitting there having my coffee, and yo-yo comes through the plate glass window. In the
It was like
front house.
6:30 in the morning before school. I was waiting for the bus, and I had that thing whipped around my head. And let go of it.
So did you ever think like, hey, instead of law enforcement, maybe one of you should have gone into construction management or something to help fix up all this damage?
No doubt.
All right, so help me, guys. We talked about Connor. You brought up earlier, of course, being the smartest one in the room, right? So you brought up that you were faster, but Mike was shiftier. So you were kind of drilling down there a little bit. Let's drill down even further and say, complete this sentence for me, each of you. Not just the fastest, but the overall best football player in my family was.
Dustin.
All right, Mikey says Dusty.
I appreciate that because I was going to say Michael.
The reason why is you could do everything on the field. It wasn't just one thing, catch a ball or just run.
He'd
or hit
actually
people.
block
Like,
somebody, or-
he'd go light people up. He'd run through the middle of the field and he'd still get away from people, and it was incredible to watch. And obviously, like, I was a boy, and I would was just a boy.
He was just a
Boy.
And I would be the ball boy for the games, and I'd watch him play. I'd sit there and watch. Oh my God, this guy's amazing!
Right.
I got to be something like this, and
Yeah.
like literally, that's what I wanted to be. So yeah,
Nice.
that's why I think he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a clip. I think we were playing Patterson my junior year, and I got thrown a lollipop of an interception. And I had a wide open run to the end zone, but on the film you could see Mike running down the whole way with me on the sideline to the end zone. It was pretty cool to see.
That's awesome. What about you, Ty? Not just the fastest, but the overall best football player in my family is.
I just wanted to know how many have a second team all-area punter on their resume. No one?
Which brings up a very funny story about Dixon playoffs, my junior year, Ty's senior year.
Ooh, go ahead and bring that one up.
Where, so I was long snapper at the time, and Ty, I was the punter.
Yeah.
And I think it was,
Second team
what
all-area.
was it, a negative 20-yard punt?
No, it was like a negative 10 at most.
So a negative 10-yard punt, and that's your second team all-area punt.
Was it windy?
No, it was just very
wet,
muddy.
Gil. It was
and,
wet.
Yeah, well, it was wet, but it doesn't mean you can't punt the ball forward.
Long snap was dog shit too. So
Yeah, right.
no, overall best. I mean, best football athlete. I mean, I would have to say Mike. Dustin close second. I mean, it's hard to say. Honestly, it truly is because
We all did different things.
It's different things, but they're all good in their own perspective.
Like Mike and Dusty obviously were the two running backs, so that's.
But Connor, didn't you hold a record for most receiving yards in a year or some shit?
I don't know, maybe.
It was something along those lines. Like
I had
it's
a
like
few.
it's like Connor was a great receiver.
My argument was still going to be between Mike and Dusty as well, though.
I mean,
this is the one time I wasn't throwing myself out there.
Right. I had to get the second team all-area punter out. But no, it's tough. I would have to say Mike just for the fact that I've seen a lot more of his games and I see how well he moves and just his athletic resume, football, baseball, basketball. The dude can move. He's an athlete. Dusty, you could obviously do what you needed to do, but you were hard nosed for sure. I mean, tougher.
Yeah, but he couldn't throw a baseball, so
right.
But that's the one knock. I know this is strictly football, but that's my knock against him. It was like, yeah, Mike's. They're both very good running backs, but Mike could throw a baseball.
But
Is what
Mike
popped
could
into
throw
my
baseball,
head when I
yeah.
had to guess.
Were you the
Yeah,
yo-yo
that's-
guy?
I was a yo-yo.
Yeah, but could you walk the dog with a yo-yo?
Exactly, yeah.
But he can slam through a window.
I put 0 yo-yos through a window, so he's got me there.
I agree with the guys that they all played very different positions. What struck me about Dusty is he played running back and inside linebacker. So he was getting hit every single play. And
Right.
It's super physical. And I think back to the series game. And Dusty, when Dusty is a different way of dealing with pressure. And this is carried over to golf, although I haven't seen him vomit on the first tee. But Dusty would throw up before every game, and Eric and I'd sit there and watch him go. But series was extra special. I think he threw stuff up that he ate on Monday.
Wow.
But then, and that was a tough game. And Roger ends up he probably carried the ball 35 times.
I think it was 35 or 36.
Yeah.
Wow.
Times. But his toughness was remarkable.
Yeah, and I got to say, from a coaching perspective, and just outside looking in, when I see a player that's a linebacker and a running back, the first thing in my mind is, shit, that kid's tough,
Yeah,
right? He's not going to shy away from contact, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to run away from it. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's the one thing I said I do appreciate about Dusty is he is out of all of us, he's the toughest by far. Like I said, running back and middle linebacker.
And Dusty, you could probably kick a ball more than negative 10 yards.
Oh,
probably.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, first off, oh my God, we're back to this.
Speaking of the toughness, they were playing College San Mateo, I think was number 2 or 3 in the state. And Dusty was playing H-back, which ended up being fullback that game. And they were kicking San Mateo's ass. I mean, Demarie Nelson was playing running back, and Dusty was playing fullback.
The first game, because me and Demarie split time at the tight end fullback position, and our running back got hurt. So Demarie moved to running back full time. So I had the full game of playing that position by myself. And you can go ahead.
And they were just pounding the ball at San Mateo, and it was probably 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that drive was going to shore it up, and their safety came up, and Dusty was the lead blocker and hit him in the upper ankle, compound fractured his leg.
Ouch.
And he handled that. I mean, it was ugly. I mean, very ugly.
Yeah.
But he handled that whole thing unbelievably well. But that ended his football career.
Yeah.
It was probably the worst football injury I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of them.
Me too. Yeah, it's bad. I've seen broken femur.
Yeah.
I was at that
Oh,
game.
yeah, that was Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen it once before too.
Oh, yeah.
Once before, and it's just clear as day. It's like when you don't see something like that, and you see it. Yeah, it's like clear. Yeah, it's not fun to look at. All right, well, hey, I'm going to call that last one the draw between both Mike and Dusty, right? So, which is kind of funny.
fair.
The
I'll take
youngest, and the oldest, right?
Yeah.
The youngest and the oldest, and those guys in between weren't so bad either.
Yeah, they're all right.
Handsome, at least. Got that going.
And you're the smartest guy,
Yeah,
right?
and charismatic. And
Just-
just all time, just a good time to have.
Yeah.
So just, bring us around.
Yeah. Well, tell us more.
That's all I got. It's kind of my spiel about like why you want to be my friend or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, guys, we're getting close to the end of our time here. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, family men, golfers, Dave, doing what you do. I got to, on behalf of the community, thank every single one of you for what you've done for Calaveras football, for what you've done for the community, keeping the community safe, being involved with sports with the high school, another generation soon to come, I'm sure. And so I thank each and every one of you for what you guys have done. You guys are an outstanding family, a football family. I love spending time with every single one of you. And so thank you guys so much for what you've done.
Yeah, well, thank you,
you,
Gil.
Gil. Yeah,
Thank
Our
you, Gil.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing. It's huge that you're doing this with the podcast and what you're doing for Calaveras football. So
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm working on Fridays, I end up listening to the live game calls and all that, and I really appreciate having that. And then I am an avid listener of this podcast. I listen to every single one the day it comes out, so I'm a huge fan.
I think we have one question I think only you can answer.
Uh-oh.
Is what is Greg Stark really like?
What is Greg Stark really like?
Besides a Packer fan.
Greg is very cerebral, and he does his homework. He doesn't come into the booth not knowing what's going on. He's ready to go. He's organized, and more importantly, he lets me do what I do. Right?
It's funny. I never put cerebral and Greg in the same thought.
He's actually, him and Guy Dossie will be in the studio soon because we're going to do the 2025 Motherlode League preview, where we break down every school in the league, their coach, their top players, and then kind of at the end bust out and rub that crystal ball and say, here's how we see it playing out. And so be sure out there in Calaveras land, be ready for that one. But that's, of course, after you listen to a football family, the Souls. Thank you so much again, every single one of you guys. Want to bring up an important date here. We've got the Calaveras Football Quarterback Club dinner that's happening on Saturday, August 2nd at the San Andreas Town Hall. So be sure to get out there. That's going to be a fun event. Brand new episodes of Let's Talk Football with Coach Val every Friday in August, leading up to the home opener against Bradshaw Christian at home. I'll be calling the game, Connor, on KVGC Radio. 1340 and 96.5. Absolutely. You'll be out there. Bradshaw Christian right off the bat. Section runner up on week 1, Calaveras at home at San Andreas at Calaveras. So that's going to be a real good game and a real good barometer for Calaveras, who I think this year is going to be a really, really tough football team. They've got Cody Paulson and Enrique Hernandez in the backfield. And between the two of them, it's nearly 500 pounds in the backfield.
Wow.
I think
boys.
Paulson's 250, Enrique's 235, 230, right around there. And we're not talking about offensive line. Those are running backs.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
units, the two of
our
them.
average O-line, 10 was
Probably
195
Yeah,
pounds.
maybe 190.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. So that it's should be an exciting season. Cody Paulson was the defensive player of the year last year. He's back at running back and inside linebacker. So the team's going to be good. And so be sure to get out there. Any last words from any of you guys?
Go Hawks.
Stay classy, San Diego.
He's an idiot.
So you heard it, folks, from the smartest guy in the room, Connor Sewell. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. And until next time, we are out. from our left to right, and they're all white uniforms. Here's the kick. Kicks it about the middle of the field. Looks like 19, that's Cody Ferrante. He's going to run up the middle. He's got some room. He's got a couple of blockers, cuts to his left, breaks a couple of tackles, uses his speed. There he goes! Touchdown, Calaveras!
What a great way to start the homecoming game, to get the crowd into it immediately.
What a play. The first time he touches the ball, he takes it to the house for 6 points.